And now, a voice actor reacts to the DC League of Super Pets. There I am. It's Andrew Frankel. Hi.
Today I went to go see the DC League of Super Pets starring Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson as Crypto the Super Dog. Crypto the Super Dog! I'll be honest, I laughed a lot. It was a funny movie. A lot of good jokes, and the performances, for the most part, pretty darn good. This was one of those movies that was like star-studded voice cast, not that you would recognize most of them. I didn't realize Mark Maron was Lex Luthor until it ended and I was watching the credits, studying them very, very closely because I do that. And it's overall really fun movie. This movie had a sense of humor about itself. It was a lot more fun than anything Pixar I've seen this year. It was, on par with the Illumination stuff, the Minions.
Yes, the good sound cut out here. I promise I am an audio professional. Enjoy the rest of the show.
Kevin, right, we gotta do this right now? That's fine. That'd be fine. Thank you. Okay. I think Kevin Hart did a pretty good job.
As a puppy, I was taken from my family.
Comedians tend to do a really, really good job. Anybody could have played Crypto the Super Dog. Crypto the Super Dog! Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson happened to. I think because he produced the movie and because he's got a lot of stuff going on with DC. And the fact is, when you're a leading man character in one of these things, you kind of have to phone in a straight leading man performance. You sometimes have to be both the dog speaking as English.
Wake up, buddy. It is walk o'clock.
And you also have to be able to and all that kind of stuff. But I don't believe he did. I think they might have gotten either somebody to do the dog sounds or a dog. That happens sometimes too.
What is new with you, fellow normal dog?
Anybody could be this character if they just read the lines.
Where the heck am I?
Natasha Leone plays this turtle who's old and has bad vision, and it's got her crusty voice sort of thing because she's got that her characteristic Natasha Leone voice. A funny character, but she gets super speed and then eventually runs way too far. She goes, "Where the f*** am I?" But they bleep it out because it's a kids movie, and this was a really funny use of the bleep in a theatrical release that they didn't have to do. It's so jarring because nothing gets censored these days. It's a funny line, you're not expecting it in a kids movie, but also you don't expect the bleep, and I think the laugh comes from the bleep. This was Ruth Lambert casting, and she does the casting for Rick and Morty. And she has a real good ear for this kind of stuff where you cast an innocent kid saying really ridiculous, terrible things.
I am hungry, and all I could do to pass the time is hump. I will hump this rock.
She did the same thing with this kitten in here, who gets superpowers and becomes evil and is terrorizing the group. It's a good source of comedy, some natural contrast between this innocent, very cute kitty and some horrible things.
Most valuable voice.
Honestly, I think Vanessa Bayer did a good job here.
What's going on?
She owned this part. She was the super pig, Wonder Pig. She didn't really decide on a name for a while.
The mighty oink! I didn't see anything.
But I liked her. She was earnest, and she really committed to being that character. I bought it. That's important. This is going to be a segment of Voice Actor Reacts called
Could You Even Tell It Was Them?
Let's go down the list.
Dwayne Johnson.
Yeah, you could tell it was him. Did it need to be Dwayne Johnson? No.
Kevin Hart.
Dead right now,
It
right?
felt like Kevin Hart. It was decent voice acting. It was a lot. He was funny. He committed. He did some sad acting, and I bought it. I bought Kevin Hart's character a lot.
Kate McKinnon.
I wasn't sure it was her. I knew it was somebody funny. It was a voice that I recognized. She is the villain of this. She's the hairless hamster. She played, and she did well. Guinea pig. Did I say hamster?
Yeah.
Oh no.
John Krasinski.
John Krasinski plays Superman in this. And I wouldn't have been able to know that unless I stayed for the credits and I was like, oh, John Krasinski was in Superman.
Vanessa Bayer.
I could tell it was her as soon as I heard like her that she does this thing where she like doesn't quite get things, and it's a nuanced performance, and she mastered it. I like her.
Natasha Leone.
Natasha Leone. As soon as I heard that crusty turtle, I was like, that's probably Natasha Leone. She was funny.
Diego Luna.
Diego Luna was a fidgety squirrel. I don't know. You know, it was like a character that like, yeah, sure. I wasn't like, wow! Wow! I was just like, yeah.
Mark Maron.
If it isn't the Justice League.
Mark Maron played Lex Luthor. Why? I like Mark Maron. It just, again, anybody, it wasn't a particularly evil, or particularly casual, or particularly funny.
Keanu Reeves.
As a child, my family was taken from me.
It was him doing a Batman voice. I knew it was him going in because I'd seen the press for it, but it was like, he had fun. And like I said before, I would watch more Keanu Reeves' silly Batman, or Batman taking himself seriously but it being silly. That's a DC. Are you listening? That would be a home run in my book.
Ben Schwartz and Thomas Middleditch.
They've always been like improv partners since UCB days, and they're hilarious people. There's a difference between the performance and then the improviser, because a voice actor is always going to be in character trying to, make this believable. An improviser is going to say, hey, this is a moment happening. How do we pack as much comedy into this as possible? These guys are going to punch up everything just by being in the booth. And even when it's something as mundane as like, and I'm Keith, it's like so real. They have sort of these nondescript voices generally, so they just sort of sound like guys. But the comedy was there, and if you can sense somebody's comedy familiar and know that, like, and that rings like something Middleditch would do or Schwartz would do, this had that.
Olivia Wilde.
Olivia Wilde was in it?
She was Lois Lane.
What? Oh my gosh, Olivia Wilde was. I was like, who's Lois Lane? I was watching the whole thing. I didn't even notice that Olivia Wilde was in that movie.
Jermaine Clement.
Jermaine Clement was Aquaman?
Yeah, I'm shocked.
Okay, I'm actually confused at this point. I wouldn't have known. Unless I went onto IMDb at this point. Who played Crypto's dad? Because that was really funny.
Keith David.
Keith David as Crypto's dad in Holograms, where he's like going through all of the advice that he would have given him. The dog in the mirror is you. That got me to laugh.
Yvette Nicole Brown. Maya Erskine. Lena Headey. Alfred Molina.
Oh gosh, okay, I officially don't remember anybody else being in this movie. Yeah, this is diminishing returns. Too many celebrities. I wouldn't have been able to tell you half of these people were even in the movie. Wouldn't have known.
Sam Levine.
Interesting. Sam Levine, if you played that robot, you're my hero. That's the line that's sticking with me. Dolores. I love that. Okay, I think we've had it. I think that's it. I've reacted.
Crypto, the super dog, crypto, it's super dog time.
Thanks for watching.